We're here to talk about One Piece, because I'm still obsessed. Welcome back to Jacobite Games. I'm your host, Jacobite James. I think the last time, my last video, we talked about how I was on episode 60-something, I can't remember, because I've watched a lot since then. Now, that was the Reverse Mountain, Laboon, like entering the Grand Line. Well, I'm all the way in Alabasta, and I'm pretty much almost done. So, before I go too far, I want to talk about the islands, Laboon. I want to talk about leading up to Alabasta, because there's a lot to cover, and I want to talk about the live action Season 2 on what we're going to be expecting based off of the anime, and what they might be taking out and what they might be changing. I don't know. There could be a lot. There could be none. Who knows? But from the trailer, I'm sure we can gather up pieces of what's going to happen and what they're going to keep. Now, I just want to address, yes, I am completely aware. I saw everybody's comments, and I appreciate you all for commenting and watching and giving me that warm welcome into the One Piece universe and the One Piece fam. I reacted to a fan-made trailer. I totally know that now. I've been fucking fooled. Well, let me tell you, I had my questions about it because there was some sounds that didn't match up, but I wasn't going to question it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it anyways and see what happens. I thought teaser con was a thing. Looks like I was wrong. I'll take that one. I'll take the L on that one. All right. And yes, I've also heard your comments. Logtown. Kind of like Logtown. I totally get it now, but we live and learn. We move forward, but I've done extensive research. Yeah, I've done a lot of writing just so I could make sure that I have my information down. Now, my pronunciations, I'm still working on those, all right? I'm still working on those. But I want to talk about the live action, what it reveals, and based off of what I saw in the anime, what we're going to expect. Now, right now I'm on episode 109, which is like the whole battle against Crocodile, okay? And it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. But let's jump back here, all right? Before I go too far. We'll talk about Alabasta another time. Logtown, correct? Right. This is going to be epic, all right? If they're going to bring this, which they are, when they bring this into the live action, this is going to be crazy. Because this is going to be interesting. This is an introduction to lots of characters, to be honest, and lots of characters throughout this whole season, to be honest. But Smoker is such a cool character, and when I was introduced to him, I was like, damn, this guy's dope. The double cigars, the smoke, the slick back hair. I'm like, yo, this guy's sick. He's a Marine, so can we say fuck that guy? But he's cool as shit. And his second hand, Tashigi, basically meets Zoro through the sword store and doing chores at the Marine base to get money. And this is the anime, so who knows what they're going to put into it, into the live action. But we know that she's been casted. We also know that Ipumatsu is the sword keeper at the store. And they've all been casted, so they're in it. But at what capacity? Who knows? Could be just a small cameo. Who knows? But I do think it's a crucial time because Zoro gets his new swords because he broke them in Season 1 against Mihawk. Mihawk, that's another cool character. I'm going to talk about Season 1 in a different video just so I can go back and talk about it and talk about all my cool characters and all my favorite parts. And so he meets the second-hand girl, and this creates sort of an enemy between Zoro and Tashigi, which I think, again, this is going to be a cool part to add into the live action. We'll see if they do. But we get to Loguetown, all right, and this is where Buggy returns and Alvida returns. Now, I don't think it's been announced clearly. Now, I think she's coming back because the actress has lost a crap ton of weight to play this Alvida, this version of Alvida, after she takes the smooth fruit and she becomes like super skinny. So I think obviously she's going to be in it. She's put in all that work, but I haven't seen much about it. But anyways, this is like Luffy's execution. All right, Smoker's there, everybody's there, the whole gangs are there, and we get a glimpse of Dragon. All right, I don't know too much about Dragon, but I do know a little bit just doing my research. It kind of spoils it a tad bit of different. Doing research spoils a little bit. Okay, so I try to do limited amount of research completely because I know this show's been out for a very long time, and I don't really want to know too much, but I already know quite a bit. So, Dragon looks like a cool ass character. That's it. It's Logtown. It's gonna be epic. I think it's probably one of my favorite parts in Logtown. Now, in Logtown, we're gonna get. I don't think these two characters have been casted. But Daddy Masterson with Usopp, that whole thing I thought was really cool in the anime. Now, I don't think there's been a casting, but they might skip it. So, who knows? And Carmen, the famous chef that faces Sanji, I think would also be a cool little part, even if they're just like, they're sailing in their little flashbacks on what happened. You know what I mean? Because it kind of pushes their character a little bit, you know what I mean? And it pushes their background story just a little bit too. You know what I mean? So anyways, we'll see if that gets added. We're on to Reverse Mountain, all right? Laboon. What a freaking story. All right, what a story. The lighthouse guy, Crocus, got left behind by the Roger Pirates. That was a sad one, but it was also really cool to see because Monkey D. Luffy just literally kind of inspired Laboon again. You know what I mean? And it was really cool because that was also the introduction to Miss Wednesday and Mr. Nine, which we find out later on that Miss Wednesday is actually Vivi, which we don't find out till Whiskey Peak, but I think it's going to be cool. That's going to be cool. It's a nice little introduction, and Laboon's story, I mean, from what I hear, we should stay tuned for Laboon. Keep that in mind. So I'm keeping that in mind, man. My mind is just absorbing everything. I've read all the comments and I'm like, oh shit. All right. Cool. So I'm only on episode 109 and I know there's a lot to take in and there's a lot going to happen, which I'm excited for. Dude, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I can't stop watching, which is why I'm trying to take the time to talk about it now before I go too far. I'll talk about Alabasta in another video too. So I'm going to try my hardest to talk about this shit before I just blow right past it. But this is the introduction to the Baroque Works agents. Smack right there, Reverse Mountain. And from what we've seen in the trailer, Reverse Mountain's going to look cool in the live action. It looks cool. Laboon looks cool. It's going to look cool. On to Whiskey Peak. Whiskey Peak looks like it's going to be crazy in the live action. And this is going to be into the introduction to multiple more characters, which is why I think we'll get into it later, but Alabasta is going to be season 3 for sure. And we've already seen a couple castings for Alabasta, like Bon Clay, which I think is a crazy character, but super funny too. Dangerous as hell. With those ballerina tap shoes, come on, let's go. Just an odd character. But yeah, Alabasta season 3 for sure, because there's so much to be introduced to and get through with all these islands that they get to, right? So Whiskey Peak, Igaram, the bodyguard, eventually we find out, is the bodyguard of Vivi, right? He ends up being a decent character as well, but doesn't quite, Anyways, we get Miss Wednesday, Mr. 9, Miss Valentine, Mr. 5. Yeah, the booger bomb dude. I mean, he's more than that, but, he's the booger bomb dude to me. We get the Unluckies. We get the appearance of Robin, Nico Robin, who is all day Sunday? Miss All Sunday? Sorry, Miss All Sunday. Come on, give me a break here. There's a lot to take in. But anyways, so much happens in this, especially in the anime, where Luffy's just indulging in food, passes out, gets fat. Zoro, I mean, he's a trooper. Sanji is just fascinated with all the women. And Nami's drinking competitions with everybody. The nun, Miss Monday, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Which I don't know if we're going to see her. There have been talks that it might be possibly a small cameo, but I personally haven't seen anything. Again, try to do as less research as possible, but enough to make this video. Whiskey Peak is going to be crazy because, I mean, so many people, so many agents die. And they get into a lot of fights, all right? A lot of fights. The Unluckies, yes, an otter and a vulture, they come and deal with unfinished business, all right? And Miss Valentine, when she takes the kilo fruit, can just come up with a weight and smash people, all right? This is pretty cool. Like I said, the wide variety of fruits that I'm fucking trying to figure out here, the devil fruits, it's almost overwhelming, but if you're not into it, then I can get why you're like, nah, fuck that shit, dude. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I'm fucking in it, and I want to know it all. Like, I was starting to learn all the different devil fruits, and I was like, no, that's a different video, man. That's a different video, because there's a lot of different types of fruits. There's certain people who only have certain fruits. See, that's where I stopped research. I don't want to know. I'm going to keep the suspense and the surprise for later on. But so many devil fruits, so many different types, and so many cool ones, and some kind of like corny and weird, and then also just like, what the fuck do they do? We'll get into this one after. There's another one that I was like, okay, this is a funny one, but still cool, but also awkward. But yeah, Whiskey Peak, this again, Robin comes and warns them. You guys gonna fuck around. You're gonna find out. Anyways, moving on, Little Garden. All right, this is where we find the giants. We also see all of this happening in the live action teaser trailer and probably another trailer on the way, which I hope will reveal more. Okay, because I want to see more. But Little Garden, it's where we meet the giants. All right, these giants, this story between the giants was emotional. It was emotional. These two characters are great, especially in the anime. They've just battle is crazy, but they're like best friends at the same time, and they forget what they're battling about. But they also get tricked, at least in the anime. Don't know what they're going to do with the live action. We've only seen brief, tiny amounts of the giants, and it's going to be cool. Dory and Broggy. So that one's going to be really, really good with the prehistoric dinosaurs and stuff in there as well. It's going to be cool. But that's when we're introduced to Mr. 3. Doru fruits, which is like the wax fruits. I'm learning all the Japanese names for them too. Trying to. But the wax, dude. It's just his head is funny. I mean, I love the actor who's going to be playing him. But this one was like, this fight was drastic too. Because we also get Miss Golden Week. Miss Golden Week is in there, and she's got like this psychic powers to control your emotions towards the colors of her paint, and it got pretty crazy in the anime. And it was pretty funny too at the same time, because they had to talk to Luffy opposite. You know, they had to say everything opposite for him to do it. So it was pretty funny. But we know the continuation between Miss Valentine and Mr. 5. Now, I don't know if they're gonna put Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine in both islands, but they might. They might just save their special appearance for one island. Who knows? But that would change the whole battle in Little Garden. But that's also the introduction to Crocodile. Now, at this point, we don't know what he looks like. We just get that phone call on the snail phone, right? And we get Sanji, who answers it. This one's going to be epic. If you're watching this, you haven't seen One Piece. You don't even know the half of it, all right? Watching this takes so much dedication. Oh, and by the way, dedication, talk about dedication. All my One Piece Legos are done. They're done. I'm just waiting on Arlong Park. I got the Going Merry, I got the Barate, I got the Buggy Circus, and I got Shanks in the bar. So that's all. They're all done. I'm just waiting on Arlong Park, which is going to be sweet to do. It's coming today, but I'll probably have to work, so I won't be able to make it yet. But again, Little Garden, it's going to be crazy. All these islands are going to be crazy. That moves us on to Drum Island, which we see a little glimpse of it in the trailer. And this is where we're introduced to Chopper and Dalton. And let me Kura, Dr. Kura, and Dr. Huluk, Wolpole, and King Wolpole, and the chess guy and KM. Yeah, this whole Drum Island is going to be crazy too, because Nami gets sick, and they need the doctors, the 20 MDs that go around with Wolpole. And let me tell you though, the anime Wolpole fight took forever, and I was getting frustrated. I was like, dude, just kick his fucking ass already. Whew. Some of these fights though, they take forever, and I'm like, dude, Luffy, do something. Chopper, do something. Sanji, why are you so injured? Do something. Zoro, what are you doing swimming by yourself, just doing your own thing? Anyways, the fucking red-eyed rabbits, shit gets crazy. Shit gets crazy. All right, so yeah, Chopper, we're introduced to Chopper. Dalton, I think, is one of my favorite characters in Drum Island. I'm deep diving, okay? And I might be deep diving too much. But as a content creator, I want to make sure that I've got all the information, and I want to make sure that I dive in to what my passion is right now. And I'm obsessed. My passion is for One Piece right now. I can't stop. Can't stop thinking about it. And I want to know more. And knowing that there's like over 1,000 episodes, I'm all in. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get there because everybody else is there. They're already there. But I do appreciate the hype for it all because you guys are welcoming me in, the warm welcome, and you give me the push to learn more and see more and experience more. And through this trailer, you know, and the live action, we're going to see more. And they've got, from what I hear, their plan is like 12 seasons. So they have a lot to cover. But if they're doing each arc in each season, you never know. You never know. They could just be like, okay, look, we want to hit more. Who knows? Who knows? Again, actors age. So we can only put our hopes into 12 seasons. Let's keep it at that, right? But throughout this trailer, we see a lot of this that I just covered, and that's it, right? Now, it's only January, so we still have February and March to get more teasers, more pictures, more trailers, more interviews, more reveals. So there's tons to see. But all these characters, most of them, have been either announced by a casting or we've seen them in the trailer. And I am absolutely excited for this because so much of this is going to be so much fun to watch come to life now that I'm watching the anime first. One part I want to say before I go or before we talk about anything else is that dragon storyline. As the grandpa dragon and the little kid, man, I didn't know what the hell was going on in that, but it ended up being one of the most heartfelt stories in that whole arc. And I wish or hope that they get some sort of glimpse of it in the live action. I really don't think they're going to because it really kind of is not necessary, but still would be interesting to see. I mean, who doesn't love to see a dragon in a live action? So it would be cool to see that, but I get if they don't. But yeah, and we should get an appearance of Vivi's dad as well, the King of Alabasta, and which has a huge storyline beyond the islands. So, anyways, this is going to be a crazy season. This is going to be a crazy season, and I know why you guys are hyped for it, because I am now too, now that I've experienced the anime. I've also did a thing, you know, I signed up for Viz Shonen Jump. I was recommended that in the comments. I did look it up, and I could start reading the manga. And so I'm new into the manga as well, man. I mean, I have tons of comics. I read comics, and I don't do it often anymore, but I used to. But now onto the manga. And I don't know if I want to go too far into the manga yet. Might want to find a spot in the anime to slow down and stop and take a break. Maybe jump into the manga for a bit and maybe catch up. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me how to do that. Tell me how to do that. And just for the fun in the comments, what's all the One Piece movies on Netflix? Where do those fit in? Now, I can do my research, but I'm asking the pros here. Where do those fit in? Do they fit in kind of like the MCU, sort of? You know what I mean? Like, just, you know, you just place it in between each story arc. Because, fuck, there's more to watch. I may be overwhelming myself because I have like huge ADHD when it comes to all that shit. There's just everywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? As you can tell, I'm jonesing on the One Piece. But, holy crap, it's a lot to cover. And I cannot wait to see what is going to happen in the live action And I'm excited to kind of see what they take out. You know, what's not important to them, because I know Oda's got a hand in it, right? So you never know what he might agree on, what not to agree on, and the portrayals of the actors who are playing these characters. I can't wait. I think this covers most of what is happening on the islands that I've seen in the anime. I know I've probably missed a lot too, but if I talk anymore, I'll be here for another half an hour, which I don't think you guys might have the time for. Keep it as short as possible. But broke it down quite a bit a little here based off the anime, and we'll see what happens in season 2 of the live action of One Piece. All right, if I missed anything, I'll turn it into a short, whatever. But appreciate everybody taking their time to listen to me rant, listen to me talk, listen to me just take all this passion and energy out into a video. I appreciate the love on that last video, all the subs, all the watch hours, all the likes, all the comments. I appreciate it. And you guys are fucking awesome. And I can't wait to meet more of you through more of these videos. But again, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that sub to get notified when more videos come out here at Jacobite James. I appreciate you all, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy, buddy. Have a good one.